Hi, this is Vicky with Learning Home Volunteers, and we would like to wish you and yours a really happy holiday season. Not all of us celebrate Christmas, so we thought that we could explore some of the seasonal delights found in many different countries around the world. And so our learning session is all about that. This session is also different in that at this time it is 4 weeks long, and it's the longest session we put together for our learners during the year for both old and young alike. Our next box will not be delivered until January, but know that we are thinking of you and hoping that you and your family enjoy all the season has to offer: great food, celebrations, family gatherings. We will be making 4 posts, 1 a week, for the activities included in that week. While you're at home enjoying time with your family, Learning Home Volunteers will be raising money to allow us to enroll more children in our program. Our donors love to hear about the changes that the program has made with your child and in your home. So if you're interested, we would love to record your message to future donors to let them know how their money that they donated has made a difference in your life. So if you're interested, please contact Fernando or Mariana, and we can arrange a session to have you interviewed on film. The thing that our donors want to know is that their money is being used well and is making a difference. And there's no one that sees more clearly the kind of difference our program makes than the parents that are actually involved with their children. Well, let's take a look at the books we have for this session. We have 4 books in this learning session. Our first one is actually about the gingerbread boy. The fairy tale is actually found in many different countries around the world, and it's just a tiny bit scary. Well, the gingerbread's running away and people are chasing him. That's kind of scary. And our next book, The Snowman, is a wordless book and illustrated using only colored pencils. This actually book was turned into a movie that you might see during the holiday season. The next book is called The Mitten, and is actually adapted and illustrated by Jan Brett. She does a lot of early learning books, but it's all about a mitten that was actually lost in the forest and then is subsequently found by the forest creatures. Each creature has its own take about what the mitten is for and actually tries for it to use it for that purpose. And then finally, we have another wordless book called The Snowy Day, which is about a little boy who wakes up and finds that it snowed outside. All of the books are delightful. I love the wordless books, especially because um, they're very accessible to all ages and give you something to talk about as a family. Well, let's take a look at our first activity, activity number 1. Well, with winter, especially when there's snow, people have always marveled at the trees that don't lose their leaves during the dormant session for trees. So we've offered 2 activities to do. One is we've cut some paper out that actually, when you put the trees together, the 2 pieces together, will make a standing tree like we're seeing here with the cardboard, and could serve as your Christmas tree if you wanted to celebrate that or let the child decorate it as they like. But the other thing that we brought off, another choice, and you can do one or both, whichever you like, is the idea of a setup of a forest of trees. These are made from toilet paper rolls, which hold the triangles, which are the trees. And then this child has decorated it with snow on top of it. Now, both are open to your child's interpretation, which may or may not include snow. All right, our second activity is weaving. Great fine motor activity, which involves weaving yarn around an object. We've included 2 different choices: a triangle, which could be a Christmas tree if you like, or just a tree, um, and and a square. Each of the choices have slits around the sides, so you could thread the yarn through and it'll stay in place. The really cool thing is that the resulting effect, I think, is really cool looking. which is really nice. And we've also included some pony beads, which are a choking hazard, don't forget, that you can weave in and put on the string. And as it comes up, it gets included on the weaving effect that you've kind of done. And is a lot more decorative, as it turns out. This is activity number 3, snowflake matching. You're going to get a sheet that is 8.5 by 11 that has all the different snowflakes that we have to match. And then there's a set of little square snowflakes that are already cut out. The game is obviously to match the cut snowflake with its friend on the sheet. But you can see by just looking at the snowflakes that these snowflakes, many of them are very similar and they're very detailed. So this is actually really an exercise about language. We're really trying to, for the little ones, to help them see the differences in how the snowflakes are, and so doing that is that's done through language. So if I were describing, say, for example, the snowflake on the upper left side of the screen to our little learners, I would say, well, let me look at this one. It's got 8 points as I go around and count the different arms of the snowflake, and I would count them. I would talk about the color. It's light blue, and the ends of those arms look like a diamond shape to me. And on each of those arms, it looks like they have maybe leaves or branches that come off from the center out to that triangle shape. So let's see if we can find one that looks like this. And then as we look at each of the different snowflakes that could be a match, we would check those attributes against what we had just described. This helps the child slow down, take a look, but also provides the languages to be able to actually describe those, which is very helpful. Well, we're going to end the week with a sweet treat. We're going to make fairy bread. This is a special treat that's actually served in Australia and New Zealand to children for special occasions, certainly their birthday, but also for Christmas or holiday seasons, any of the things that they do. It's super easy to make. So we provided you some bread. But what you do when you start off is to actually have the learner butter the bread. And then there's a bag with a number 4, which has sprinkles, which we have provided, and you put the sprinkles on top. And you can see this child has been very good to make sure that there's every single inch is actually filled with sprinkles. And who wouldn't want to eat this special treat? It looks delicious. We hope that they share a little bit with you so you get a chance to taste it. What a great way to end the week with a nice, sweet ending.